What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the auditorium where I react to video game music for the first time. And today is the return of Civilization. This is Civilization 6, I guess Rise and Fall is the subtitle. And we're listening to 3 songs. 2 are the same title with different variances, and 1 is by itself. And those 3 songs are the Zulu theme, medieval version, and then the industrial era, and then Baba Yetu. These are from the channels Peaches Lamb, Jeff Noor, and Christopher Tin. In parentheses for the medieval one, it says Shakamamba, Halala, and Baisa. And for the industrial era, I see Uth Umbodi, Azizamlanda, Halala, and Baisa. Don't know what any of this means. And for Baba Yetu, I see featuring Soweto Gospel Choir. I think I got everything. These are requested by Biosleeve, Aceroon, Torin, and Velocifactor. Thank you very much. Okay, so let's get going. We have a lot of music to go through, but we're starting with the Zulu theme of the medieval variation. All right, let's go. It's a cool image, by the way, the city below. I think I heard a tongue click. I guess that makes sense with one of the notes for this song says that they hired some native musicians for this. Anyone know what language you're speaking? I heard Bayesa. I just had a weird thought that I'll explain later. Kind of sounds like gospel a little bit. The chorus part did. Not anymore. I'm guessing Zulu is referring to like a tribe type of area. You can tell it's like a group of musicians. They definitely went for like an authentic feel for this game. It's catchy. In a good mood. Oh, there's information in the description. I'll read that later. Alrighty. I'm going to listen to both the Zulu songs before I comment on them, and then I'll talk about both of them. This sounds a little longer. This is Zulu, the industrial era. Oops. Oh, God. Okay. Blooper. All right, let's go. Oh, no, I heard the first second. The industrial era. Okay. Same song, but different. Sid Meier's Civilization. Is that the creator? I feel like I've asked that before. Soundtrack is really like high production value. Sounds very top notch. Cheers. Crazy how you can change a couple of percussions and the whole song sounds different. The whole vibe of the song changes. It sounds like these songs are mostly human. And the percussion is like digitally added. But, like everything sounds very natural about it. Organic. And the synths, right? But like this sounds like it could just be like a group of people just when I hear songs like this, it makes me feel like I don't know, it just makes me really think about like our past as humans. Like this is what we used to do for entertainment. It's mind-boggling. Hunt animals for food and sing. Throw rocks. Damn. Civilization. These games have a big following too, I've noticed. Like the views on these are crazy. Yeah, it sounds like stomps, claps, and The production value on Civilization soundtrack is kind of extraordinary. Very cinematic, very movie-like. I don't mean that as a bad thing. It just sounds like the budget was there, you know? Or, well, who knows? Maybe it's the sixth game, so maybe it's already been established by this point. I don't know how old Civilization is. But it seems like, by the sounds of it, this was kind of like the intended sound from the get-go. So let me know how like the very first Civilization game sounds. Are they also this like high-end sounding? Because it seems like something like part of a design idea. Like, you know, I can just envision seeing the designers like, what is this game? What are we doing? Also, by the way, we need to have very like faithful era music. That's just my assumption. Now, I've never looked into what this game is. I have an idea based on like some screenshots and the name of the game, and I don't know the exact genre it is. I just call them like city builder type games. Is that what it is? I can't think of any examples. Actually, no, I can. There's like SimCity. There's like, you know, there's like that genre of game like I've never ever explored or like looked into ever, and they're like the I don't know if they're at all related, but it's I always think of them as part of the same kind of group. And it's like the city building games, the Sims, those like roller coaster building games, all those kind of stuff where you just I don't know what the genre is, but like where you just sit there and make stuff, you know, to kind of, because some people are into that and they end up becoming like engineers or something, launch their career or something like that. Which I think is cool, by the way. It's like its own thing. But that's what I think Civilization is. So please tell me if I'm completely off, or that's kind of, I just envision it as just one of those like city builders. But up until now that I'm hearing a little bit more music, it sounds to me that this is more of a, I'm taking shots in the dark here. It sounds like more of like a human, I was gonna say human simulator game, but like more of a, instead of just building a quote unquote city, it's more of like the whole humanity, I guess, because now we have eras introduced. You know, we just heard basically in my head, my ears heard two different sections of time. So now I'm starting to think of like different things, right? Like, oh, so you can go and play this game and you're in blank year, or now you can play in this era or something. Obviously the titles say the industrial era, but the songs is what really gave me that. I would have said that regardless if it said the industrial era, because the first song sounded like 100% just nothing, no technology, just trees, water, you know, that kind of thing, you know, very what's that one, Isla from Chrono Trigger, like that era. And that was cool. Like I could tell that there was a, I don't know, I'm assuming they're like a music group that play together or something, because you can tell there was like a lot of harmony with them, as if they do it all the time. I don't know who that is, but it definitely had this really organic feel to it. And I noticed there was a little bit of information here, but not too much. Let me see. This is from the Peach's Lamb one, from the Zulu theme during the medieval Renaissance era, based on the folk songs Shaka Mamba, Halala, and Bisa. Oh. So they're kind of like, so they're not totally original? Ooh, interesting. All credit goes to Jeff Noor and all the musicians who created this beautiful soundtrack. Okay. And then the second one, the industrial era, I didn't get an image for this one, just this, which let me know if that's like the cover art or just like maybe the album art or something. That's also a really like striking image too, right? That looks like two, that kind of, this image is kind of like what also led me to believe that that Civilization is more based around like humanity. It's because like we see kind of sort of like an evolution there of like just this stone figure and then the technological advancements underneath. It's pretty cool. This one doesn't say anything about it. It just says it's from Jeff Knorr. Okay. Well, oh, the thing I was gonna say that was sound kind of weird. Mini tangent here. This is how you know a song kind of like really struck me. Is something I found really interesting, and that I don't. This song made me think of two things that I think about. One I think about all the time, and one I just thought about right now. The one I just thought about right now is, it sounds kind of weird, but you know, I live in the Western world, obviously a millennial. So I grew up with technology, cell phones and stuff like that. And what's weird is I would never, and like most of you here, most of us would never hear music like this if it wasn't for like Disney and I guess games, other movies and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like how else would we hear any sort of music from around the world like that? Because as soon as I heard that, my brain went straight to like childhood movies, like, you know, I guess Disney just comes to mind. It sounds like something they would use. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying that's like the first thing that came to mind. And then I just started thinking more and more. I'm like, damn, isn't it crazy how like we would just never hear that stuff if it wasn't for those other mediums? And then I just kind of started to like really think and think and think. And then the other thing that made me think of, and I think about this all the time, and this has nothing to do with anything, but it really just kind of blows my mind sometimes. Speaking of like phones and technology and all that, when I look at this, I always think about, this is before the auditorium or anything, I've always thought this even since I was a kid. It's like everything we have now, everything, mics, whatever, you know, everything, phones, it's just rocks, water, dirt, trees, air, you know what I mean? Electricity, all that, you know, like the advancements that we've made is, it kind of scares me sometimes to think about, like, how do we have this device that I could just scroll on? I don't know, I'm sounding like a hippie right now, but it's crazy, isn't it? Like, this is essentially all we had. I don't know, it trips me out every time I think about it. Who knows? The world is crazy. Speaking of the world, Baba Yetu. Now, before I get this one going, I've seen a lot of requests for this song. A lot of requests for this song. Pretty much as soon as I uploaded anything Civilization related, they're like, Baba Yetu. I don't know what the title means. And the only thing I'm going to say is, oh, I was told that it is the first video game song doing a Grammy. That's kind of intense. I wonder how that even came to be. I guess we'll talk about that more later, but like I wonder if it was like so good that it caught the attention of the music world, or did they start to just do that when this game was released, you know what I mean? Anyways, oh, we have a video. Okay. This is Baba Yetu from Christopher Tin from Civilization 6. Old school like music video look. Oh man, this is exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, see? I'm starting to think this whole game is about like our human existence. Roman Empire? Right? I think. I gotta look more into this game. Feels like I'm in school learning all over again. These places I recognize. This is cool. This video is great. I feel like I'm going through a time lapse. I'm not gonna lie, this is the kind of video that would make people cry. Just seeing who we are as a species. It's crazy to think about. It's crazy to think about. Why do I feel so much emotion watching this? Abe. Nope. Okay. Statue of Liberty. That was cool. Time to the music. Russia. We're almost at modern day. Or basically modern day. When was this game released? Oh, this is a 14-year-old video? Damn! Remember what I just said about trees, rocks, and everything? That we're somehow in space too. Oh, that's cool. Oh man. Oh, that was sick. The advancement right there. And then going back in the time. What could have just been a thought? This video is blowing my mind, dude. Wow. I don't know how to feel right now. I feel like kind of emotional. Like, how do I, like... I'm like trying to pick out... There's so many cool shots that I was like, where can I even stop to? I'm gonna stop right here. This was... Yeah, that was sick. I don't know. I think as humans, when we see other humans like thrive and see how far we've come, and you really think about it and you really just kind of look past it all, like look past your own life and your bills and your problems, and you just are really focusing on what like humanity is, it's really crazy to me. And just something that I think the reason this made me emotional, and I don't mean like I'm gonna cry or something, but you know, it definitely makes you feel human, at least for me. But I remember one time, something kind of similar is another video that made me like very emotional and kind of like made me feel like I exist. It was some YouTube video, I can't remember which one it was. There's a lot of them that do the same thing, where it's like a scale of the universe, you know, and we'll see like us on whatever country we're on, and it zooms out and the planet's just freaking gigantic. And then let's just stop there, right? Everything we've ever known, every fad we've ever known, every music, every creature, everything, all that what we know is all contained within this one Earth. And in that, after that little Earth is just like space and all these other planets, and then you go to that, and then the sun is like this big compared to, you know when it just keeps going, and you're just like a speck of dust. It kind of really makes you think about your own problems and how insignificant you are. Of course you are significant, but you know what I mean, like you're just, you know, I'm not trying to get all philosophical on you, but it's pretty crazy to think about. And sometimes I just have to remind myself, like, when things get kind of stressful or whatever, work sucks, relationships, blah, blah, you just kind of think, like, damn, dude, none of this shit matters. We're all going to die. And that's okay, you know, like can't be scared of it. But seeing stuff like this through a video game's eyes, it's really cool. You know, now I'm very interested in Civilization. I'm not saying I'm going to play it, but like I'm very curious about it now, right? Like that we had all these historical events, and just seeing this little section right here going from like space to back to when it was just probably like an idea. Like imagine, I try to imagine these things all the time. Where imagine if we met some Neanderthals. I can't say that word. I suck at saying that word. But we're like Homo sapiens, and they saw us now just like press this button and these things happened. And you know, it just seems like we're living in like this alien future. That song though really went like perfectly with that. I can almost envision I just combine envision and imagine. I can't even think straight. But I can almost envision something like this, as silly as it sounds, as something like this, both song and video, to play when like our time comes. Does that make sense? You know, I've heard like your live flashes and all this stuff, and you also become very accepting of like the light coming towards you and all that stuff. But I would feel like something like this would cross my mind, like just seeing the world from like an outside bubble, and then just hearing this kind of like, I don't know, this uplifting angelic music. That was really good. Like all of them. I can see why I won a Grammy. No, but really, like it was like a beautiful art thing. And I think, without getting way into it, because this video is half an hour long, I think it's important that we remember that we are really just humans trying to survive. And the world, I don't mean just like Earth, but the world is like so much bigger than whatever we're going through. And it kind of takes a weight off your shoulders, you know. I was a little stressed going into this video because I had a kind of a day, but I feel kind of at ease now. And also, just another side note, like, you know, say for your like historical buffs, this game sounds like it's like right up their alley. You know? And another little thing is, when I was in school, I wasn't the best student, but like I liked math a little bit, even though I kind of hate math. That doesn't make sense, but I did. Like I hated it and I liked it at the same time. I really like science, but I was always I don't know what it was. Maybe just like I don't know. I never like looked into if I have any like diagnosis or anything, but for me it takes a while to grasp some things. That's why I didn't do like the greatest in school. I learned a lot of stuff after school. I think it's just people telling me things, teaching me things. I think I learned, no, I know I learned much better on my own. Anyways, the reason I'm getting into this is because social studies or like history class, something like that, it always kind of interested me. But I never, like looking back on it now as a grown man, I'm like, damn, I really should have paid more attention and see like the history of like us and how we got here. And like, even if it was just like 200 or 300 years ago, all that kind of stuff is like really interesting to think about how we got here. Because we're just so used to, or at least I was, we're just used to the world we're put into, plopped into, and then just accept that as reality, you know? Not to think about like how it was back then. I don't know, man. My mind is just... These songs are fantastic. This game looks great. I can see why it has a lot of fans. That was great. Grammy thing, that's awesome. I don't know how many more video game songs since then have had that honor. Please let me know. Just let me know more about Civilization, because now I'm more interested. I think it's gone far beyond a city builder to me now. It's more about like humanism, and if that's true, then that's pretty rad, man. Because if a game like that can get this popular, then maybe there's some hope in the world. I don't know. This image is striking, dude. Oh man, like just the idea of like maybe one day we'll get out there. Anyways, the moral of this video is things aren't so bad. It'll get better eventually, and we've come a long way. Thank you to Acerune, Biosleeve, Torin, Velociraptor, and everyone else who requested this. Thank you to Christopher Tin and to Jeff Noor. Awesome, man. See, video game music is awesome. We can share these experiences through VGM. I gotta get out of here. I'm talking too much. Sorry for the rant. My name is Jesse. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks to all my patrons you see here. I cannot be here without them. Thanks to you for watching. Peace.